Hey guys, it's Stanley again. Before we get into the video, I'd like to talk about something more serious. I was on a charity stream made by a YouTuber called Gyro. I'm not sure how to pronounce the name yet again, but I'll link him down below. He had a link to a charity page. The charity basically deals with donations which are sent to the children of Yemen. If you don't know the situation in Yemen, it's really rough. The ongoing war has basically left 24 million people, including children, in need of humanitarian assistance and protection. So check out the link to the charity below if you have a chance to donate. It's for a good cause. These kids really need support. I might be posting charity stuff on my channel at times. But yes, if you want to donate, then you're free to do so if you had that chance. Thank you, and let's get on to the video. So today I think I'm going to be talking more in depth about my comic, Superhuman, because in my first two ever videos I've done, I don't think I covered most of the bases. I don't think I explained it very well. But basically the setting of the comic is superheroes start to emerge. People with superpowers, more like. People with special powers start appearing in the early to mid 90s, and they start appearing in this small city called Brick Creek, which is a name choice I went with, and now I'm going to stick with it. Because I already started posting the comic. I have no idea what I was thinking when I thought up of that name, but I think I created it on the spot. Anyway, these people with superpowers start appearing, and we focus on the main character, who is one of these people. His name is Sam November, and he has the power of telekinesis. Naturally, he wants to use that power for something good, and since he's a fan of superheroes, he decides to become one. He reads comic books. There's kind of Easter eggs around his room, like there's a Harley Quinn poster on his wall. He's into that stuff, that Batman stuff. But yes, he tries as a little kid to be a superhero and fight off bullies, but quickly learns that his telekinesis isn't really that powerful to take on actual people, or like more than one person at a time. His telekinesis is generally, it seems weak. It doesn't seem like he has a lot of power. He can't really lift heavy objects, but he's working on it. So the way to work around this, in order to take on more people, since his main goal is to take on criminal gangs, and usually those are very numerous, he decides to use his telekinesis to sneakily steal guns from policemen, for instances, in order to pull these heroic acts. So he basically through the years collected a lot of firearms, which he levitates and shoots people with, basically. That's how he uses his powers. Guns aren't really that heavy, so he has no trouble lifting them, and also his aim is better when he's using his telekinesis to aim. So he has a very accurate aim, and also kind of a very lethal way of using his powers. He probably could throw knives as well, but he prefers the firearm. So basically through the first comic we get to see his life, or at least we get to kinda see what he does as a superhero. And also he meets the second protagonist, who is Rise Adrian, the Reaper, while Sam November is called Spitfire, that's his superhero name, and the other one is the Reaper. The Reaper's power is super strength. Basically, his whole body is kind of modified to be stronger, more durable, kind of faster. He's basically the technical term of a superhuman. His power is to be better, physically better than most people, even though it's like he doesn't look different or like very, very muscular, because his power is supernatural as opposed to a natural gifted physique. It's more an energy within which makes him stronger. Kind of like a power-up boost. So the two meet while attempting to crash the same human trafficking procedure. There's human trafficking happening in an old warehouse and they both crash it. That's where they meet, they fight, they realize they're both superheroes and that's like they both decided to be superheroes. They become besties and they decide to fight crime together. That's basically where I'm at. Also, they realize that there are other people with superpowers in the city. For now, they don't really know how far superpowers stretch to, and I guess I can spoil that it's basically in this particular city that's happening. Also, a shadowy corporation called Enigma Tech is monitoring these two particular superheroes for whatever reason, and the CEO, I think she is, of Enigma Tech, she calls them Alpha and Omega. So that's kind of a clue. And before you jump on to the weirdo train, no, this is not Omegaverse. This is not what's happening. There's not going to be impregnation. These are just terms. These are other things that happen. There's no Alpha, Beta, and Omega male impregnation, imprinting, or whatever happened in Omegaverse. There's none of that. This is happening in a universe very similar to ours, to our own, except for the fact that people suddenly start having superpowers. Also, that's also one of the mysteries. Where do these superpowers come from? Why do they have these superpowers? And what are they meant for? So I'm going to be tackling that as well. And as you probably know, I've already thought up of 3 seasons of this comic. I have no sense of when I'll be done with it because I'm on season 1, issue 3, and it's taking me so very long. I'm thinking each season would be like 12 to 13 issues, which again makes about 39 comics, 39 chapters, relatively speaking. I hate my life. I have other comic book ideas. The Meryl story is also supposed to be around 3 seasons long. I have no idea if I would be able to complete these stories in one lifetime. We'll see. I'm going to be working on this one, and we'll see for the other ones what would happen. Maybe if I get more successful in the future, I can hire someone to help me with this stuff in order to kind of complete it faster and not as slowly as I go, because this is a one-man operation. There's no one else to help me. I don't really have the capability to pay someone yet, but when I do, I'll probably hire someone because this is insane. I do scripting, I do the thumbnailing, I do the penciling, inking, and coloring, dialogue boxes, the whole enchilada. I make the cover art. Basically, whatever you can think of, I do it. And it's very time consuming. don't get me wrong, I love doing this. This is something like a dream project even, because I've never actually stuck to a comic book as long as I have to Superhuman. Usually I just drop the whole idea on issue 1, which I don't think is okay, but still. Actually, I think I did a comic back in the day, and I think I did finish issue 1. However, all of these files were lost, so I had to start over with a better art style, of course, but it still sucked in my opinion. But like, it's natural. Progression is going to happen in time. I don't cringe at my old art because I realized that I had to go through some failures in order to get to where I am right now. But yeah, the art was bad, but I kept on going. But I kind of gave up on that idea. I read the script for issue 1 and it was very underdeveloped. There's some things that just happen out of nowhere. Things escalate without any rhyme or reason, and I don't like that. Like, the conflict just appeared out of nowhere. Like, suddenly this guy was like normal, and there was this guy who had a sister, and the sister was a friend of the main character. So the brother of this girl basically went somewhere alone with the main character, and suddenly the sister calls the main character and is like, my brother is obsessed with you, so you should probably run away. Like, she never mentioned that before. And then things escalate. The brother tries to attack him, and that's where the conflict arrives. That's the monster of the week. of the first issue of that comic book. It came out of nowhere. There was absolutely no indication of that being something that happens or something that the sister knows. She just acts nonchalantly until she hears about the main character being left alone with her brother, and suddenly she's like, oh my god, the main character is in danger. This is insanity. I was 17 and I'm not sorry about it. Anyway, I went off on a tangent, but yeah, I haven't finished any comics yet. And Superhuman is the one I've gotten the farthest in. I kinda like that. I've been working for a long time on this comic. I really want to make it. It is kind of tied with events of my life, so maybe that's why I keep doing it, because I'm getting things out of my system. I'm turning actual events in my life into a sort of fiction, and that's how I'm working through that. But it's very loosely, actually. These events are very, very skewed and changed through a prism of fiction. Like, it's very not it. It's actually completely different. But like, the feeling behind it is similar to what I felt, is what I mean. I'm trying to change events to show events which have not actually happened, because first of all, they're impossible. There are very supernatural events happening in the comic. And second of all, I just took the emotion and tried to convey it through a different story, if that makes sense. So that's why I think this comic is so near and dear to me. I hope I finish it one day. I hope all 3 seasons of Superhuman are like circulating out there in the ethers of the universe, because it's a project I really like. I really want to finish. There are a lot of story plot twists which I'm dying to get to, but at the same time I can't spoil right now, because that would ruin the story. I'm very protective of spoilers, I really don't want to spoil anything because I really like twists and turns, and so far what I've done has been establishing an exposition, and I haven't even truly gotten into the nitty-gritty of the story yet. Maybe that's why a couple of readers have turned off from the story, because it's issue 3 now, and I've only done Monster of the Week type of stuff, which in a TV show I understand, but this is a webcomic, and if you're updating pages weekly, it takes a long time to get to the actual story. If, for instance, the story is in issue 3, it just takes long. The pacing becomes slower. So I hope the interest peaks more in issue 3 where things kinda go down. I'm making it right now. Things go down. Things are happening. And I'm finally getting to the interesting part. Let's hope. It's slow work. I'm still on page 9 of the comic because I've also been doing other stuff. But I kinda want to pick up the pace and finish the pages. I have like 48 pages, I think, left. Not left, but we have 48 pages of this issue, so I need to pick up the pace very much. It's taking me way too long, but at the same time I don't want to rush it. I want to do it right, I want to do it good, and I want people to enjoy it. So this is my tangent-y video for this week. I know I didn't really touch upon a whole subject and stuff of the sort, but I realized I didn't do a lot of comic book related stuff, and this channel is called Stanley Comics, and I wanted to elaborate on my own webcomic more, because I do feel like I kinda glazed over the whole story the first time. Also remember the charity for the children in Yemen. The link is down below. All donations will be greatly appreciated. It's a serious issue there. I've read a lot of posts about it and it breaks my heart. So if you have the chance, every donation counts, even the slightest bit, in order to get to the goal and help the poor kids. I'm not going to advertise my social media because I feel like the charity is more important. So donate to the charity. Don't donate to me, donate to the charity. Okay, thank you for watching and listening to me and my train of thought. If you've donated, thank you for donating, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!